Okay, good morning everybody. I did take my hood off, but it's freezing, so I'm leaving it up. Right, excuse me already. We're back. I got quite a few comments last night, and my comment response went wrong yesterday. So as soon as I get a chance, I'm going to sit down and, you know, if you know me, you know I like to type, but once I start, I really struggle to stop sometimes, and I have been very good so far with almost everyone. Okay, sometimes I just can't stop writing and typing. But I do have it in mind at a certain point to go back in time, so to speak, and comment on a lot more people's videos. Sometimes I just watch it, let it wash over, and then I'll come back to it at some other point. Okay, I'm very good at making connections from the past. I can pick a book up I was reading 10 years ago and put it down halfway through. I can pick it up and start reading it again tomorrow from the spot I left. I've got no problems with things like that, but just make sure I'm still filming. I want to touch on a couple of things that some people have been talking about the last couple of days, and I'm going to try and tie it all up into sort of one thing. Now, I'm going to try not to get too deep, so I do have to get to work. I keep leaving too late. Just time flies. I take my little one to school, I come home, I do my bits, and then I've got to go again. Oh. Right, let me just do this again. No, still alright. Right, so we'll start with when I was a child. When I used to lay in bed at night, as I've said before, being the only boy, I got a room to myself. From the word get-go, right? I had my room to myself. I used to lay in the room at night. I did not have TVs on. There was not as much traffic back then. And I used to lay there at night, and I used to imagine, that a giant was sort of chasing me, following me. And he had these footsteps, boom, 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 and it would follow me around every night. Now, I think I worked out quite early on what it was, but the thrill of the chase allowed me to just ignore that and pretend a giant was chasing me. Now, it was, of course, my heartbeat I was listening to as a small child, laying there in the darkness, in the silence. That was my heartbeat. The giant's footsteps, boom. But there was something weird used to happen with this dream. Very weird. Sometimes I used to be the giant, and I would be chasing something very small and I couldn't see it. But then other times I would be that small thing. And you know, even now, I just get that flash now. It's like a feeling of deja vu. Almost like I've been here before. And I have, to a certain degree, come to an understanding of what that is now, of late. And it ties into quite a lot of what people have been talking about, with the divine, feminine and masculine, the sun and the moon, system. And it's not easy to explain, okay? And I'm going to give you just a 2-line poem I've just made up as I was walking along, back there, before I started filming, not as I was filming. And it's to do with language, okay? Poppies, poppies, everywhere. Do the people know what they wear? Now, why? Which smart ass decided to use all these words to mean different things when they just sound exactly the same? I think it was done on purpose to obfuscate things. You understand? I won't go into the whys of that for today. But the sun and the moon, the male and the female, the male is the point, the smallest point of penetration to get it in there. And I mean, that's obvious with the sperm and the penis. Yes, the penis penetrates, the sperm penetrates. And the female is the circumference, the womb. But there's a problem. It's not a problem. There's a difficulty in explaining what comes next. But I can half use the waterfall analogy I've been using of late, where if you stand and look up in the waterfall, the energies that go opposite, blasting through each other. Well, it's not just blasting through each other, it's the male going through the female, coming back around, and they switch. The female then becomes the male and goes back the opposite way, and then they switch, and as they switch and keep switching, it gets faster and faster and faster. That energetic switching and turning and twisting, so it gives us the double helix and things like that. So it all depends in many ways on the starting point. If you start off from the female point, it will most likely end up as female. If you start off at the male, it will most likely end up as male. I mean, I could be wrong about that, but if you watch YouTube channels like the Number Files, especially the most recent one about Josephus, there are patterns within mathematics which will just blow your mind. They make so much sense in so many weird ways. Especially when I start thinking about my circular patterns with it. I may not have made any sense today. I cannot talk about it anymore because I have to go to work. But if it doesn't escape my mind while I'm at work, I will try and touch on this again later. But yeah, just let it sit in your mind for now, and we'll come back to these things at another point. Okay? Much love, peace and luck to you all. I have to just get this. What an odd shape. You can see like the wispy clouds. Looks like someone's cleaned it out windscreen wipe. It's very dark and dingy down there. But when I come round, it's clear as anything around this way. And then my windscreen's dirty. Very bizarre, hey? Much love, everyone. So even though it's an old presentation, David Icke was talking about missing children again today. And he does have some interesting things to say on the subject. So, well, whether you come and look or like, whether you subscribe to David Icke or not, he does have some interesting things to say. Peace and luck to you all. Sorry if I didn't manage to finish my talk today. Much love, peace and luck.